Hello, this is Jay Sykes. Today we'll be talking about the top 5 watch collecting myths. Now, in full disclosure, I'm no watch expert. I'm not a watch guru, but I've been collecting watches for a couple of years now. I've made some mistakes along the way, and I'd like to think I've learned some lessons here and there. Anyway, let's get started. Number 1. Watches are an investment. False. Now, generally speaking, any watch you buy, you're going to lose money on. Now, I get it. There are exceptions, and if you're a dealer, this will not apply to you. But if you're looking for an investment, you may want to look into real estate, securities, or precious metals. But if you're going to buy a watch, just plan on losing money. That way you won't be disappointed. Now you may break even or lose a few bucks, but don't go into it thinking you're going to make money. Number 2, watches will impress others. False. Now if you're going to buy a watch of a certain brand name thinking you want to impress someone else, I think it's a fool's errand. You should be concerned with pleasing yourself, number 1. And generally speaking, if you're wearing a wristwatch, most people are not going to notice. People who will tend to notice are other watch enthusiasts. But if you're looking to impress someone with a watch, I would say try to impress someone with your personality, your character, your constitution, etc. Number 3, the dial says Swissmade, so it's all made in Switzerland, right? Incorrect. Now, the current law with Swissmade, if a movement is 50% at least Swiss-made, then yes, it can be considered Swiss-made. But the reality is you may have a watch where the case is made in China, dials made in China, hands are made in China, strap, and 50% of the movement is made in China, but under the current law, it can still say Swiss made. So I would say for most watch brands, except for some high-end or some well-established brands, look for that watch to be sourced in countries apart from Switzerland. Now, there's going to be a law in 2017 that will make it a little more stringent, but for the most part, Swiss-made does not mean the watch is entirely Swiss-made. Number 4, if I decide to sell my watch, I can get fair market value for it. This is false. Why is it false? Well, let's say, as an example, let's say you have a Rolex watch. You've had it for a few years, you want to get rid of it. You take a look online and find out that it's selling for around $6,000. You may think to yourself, okay, great, I can get that money out of it. Well, the problem is, where are you going to sell it? If you walk into a jewelry store or go to a watch dealer, the market value may be $6,000, but they're not going to pay you for that. They need to make a profit margin there, so bear that in mind. You may think, okay, fine, I'll sell it directly myself. Okay, where are you going to sell it? If you're going to sell on eBay, you have to factor in fees from eBay as well as PayPal. Additionally, you run the risk of a chargeback. You may get a less than honest buyer who says, well, this watch is fake, the watch never arrived, and there can be some hassles along with that. Additionally, unless you have a well-established reputation on eBay, people are not going to pay market value for your item. They're not going to trust you, as opposed to an established seller who's sold for years, has numerous feedbacks, and has feedback related to selling watches. Now let's say, okay, fine, I'm going to sell it on Craigslist. Well, once again, Why are people going to trust you, a random person selling a watch? Additionally, there's some risk. I mean, are you going to meet someone in a parking lot with a Rolex? There's not a very wise move in that. Now let's say, okay, fine, I'm going to go on a watch forum, sell it that way. Well, once again, if you're on a watch forum, do you have a reputation for selling watches? Do you have references? Now, certainly you can sell that Rolex watch, but if the fair market value is $6,000, you will not get that. You will get much lower. Now, of course, if you're a dealer or if you're an established seller, that may not be true, but for most people, you're not going to get market value out of your watches. Number 5, watches will attract women. Now, this is here admittedly for the fun of it. If you're looking to attract women, try to attract them based on your personality, your sense of humor, or other attributes. If you want to attract a gold digger, then yeah, maybe a Hublot Big Bang will do the job. But the reality is most women are not going to be attracted to watches. Now, a bright or colorful watch may catch someone's eye, but you're really not going to attract a woman with that. And the kind of women you may attract may not be the kind you want to attract. If it's an overly expensive watch, they may be attracted to the monetary aspect as opposed to you as a person. Anyway, just a quick little list here of some watch collecting myths. Let me know if you agree with those, if I missed anything, or if you agree with any of those. This is Jay Sykes, hoping you have a nice day, if possible. Bye.